Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has abandoned his commitment. He has betrayed Canadians. A political party promises something in order to get elected and to appear progressive, but then once elected, they shamelessly break that promise. I would call that a massive political deception. What does the Prime Minister call it?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, over the past year, we consulted with hundreds of thousands of Canadians to hear their views on transforming our electoral system. It's very clear, as people in this House know, I have long preferred a preferential ballot. The members opposite wanted a proportional representation. The official opposition wanted a referendum. There is no consensus. There is no clear path forward. It would be irresponsible for us to do something that harms Canada's stability when, in fact, what we need is moving forward on growth for the middle class and support.
Honourable Member for Outremont.
The Prime Minister obviously never read the report, Mr. Speaker. The My Democracy charade didn't even ask Canadians if they wanted to change the voting system. But you know what? At almost every single one of the Prime Minister's town halls, someone asked him about democratic reform. So as the Prime Minister now fabricates evidence to claim Canadians didn't want what he got elected on, my question is, what expression from Canadians would have been sufficient to get the Prime Minister to respect his own promise?
Honourable Prime Minister.
It is very clear, Mr. Speaker, there is no consensus amongst Canadians on how or even whether to reform our electoral system and to change the mode of election. That's why we're going to focus on strengthening our resistance and resilience to cyber attacks from foreign interveners. Why we're going to be continuing to repeal the unfair provisions in the so-called Fair Elections Act, and why we're moving forward with greater transparency and accountability on the strong rules we already have on federal fundraising. We're moving forward in a way that will focus on the things that matter to Canadians. That is what Canadians elected us to do.
Honorable Député d'Outremont. Alors.
Cyber attacks? What about attacks on truth, Mr. Speaker? The Prime Minister made this promise hundreds of times during the election. He wrote it in his party's platform. He put it in his very first throne speech. You know what? They promised it 1,813 times since they got elected. That's the real number, Mr. Speaker. How can Canadians trust anything this Prime Minister has to say after he has so blatantly and intentionally betrayed his own word?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Contrary, Mr. Speaker, we spent a year listening to Canadians, talking with them, hearing from a broad range of views, seeing the firmly held views that a number of people feel on that, and understanding that there is no clear path forward, there is no consensus. A referendum would be a bad idea. Moving forward in a divisive policy would be a bad idea. The fact of the matter is, I am not going to do something that is wrong for Canadians just to tick off a box on an electoral platform. That's not the kind of the Prime Minister I will be.